What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It's time for transfer talk, or as Leeds United would like to put it, Tuesday. Okay, we're going to be talking today about a couple of targets that are seemingly moved off the board. Well, one is definitely moved off the board. Another one I think we may have to move away from. I'll get into that. And we have a couple of departures. They're probably not departures you want to hear about, but let's talk about them anyway. First off is Evan Guessand. We know that we've been long linked with him all summer, along with West Ham and a few other clubs. Well, Aston Villa, as they do and have done in the past, have come out of nowhere and have signed him. He is basically their player. Fabrizio Romano put this out, as well as numerous other outlets. Evan Guessand to Aston Villa. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place after 30 million plus 5 million add-ons bid accepted. Nice authorized Guessand to travel for medical and contract signing as next steps. New striker for Unai Emery. Obviously, I mean, there's a whole bunch of dominoes going on in the Premier League right now. Maybe that gives way for Watkins to go elsewhere. That doesn't really matter to us. The point is, Guessand, who's somebody who I still thought was a possibility if available later in the window, he is now off the table. So now that's another one to cross off the list that Leeds United were looking at, and well, obviously cannot look at anymore, and we'll have to look elsewhere. Which is a shame, because Guessand for me is a forward that can play all across the front line with ease. I've said it many times before, whether he's on the left, right, down the center, he just does it naturally with no, give in the quality as well. It's a shame, but you snooze, you lose, and we miss out on that one. So let's hope that there's someone still good on the list. Another one that I feel is coming to the end as well, people. I don't know how you guys are feeling. Let me know in the comments. But Rodrigo Muniz, it was said yesterday by Football Italia and numerous outlets in Italy that Atalanta are looking at Rodrigo Muniz, and if they can't get him, they'll be looking at Jean-Philippe Mateta. Obviously, two very ambitious signings for the football club. But the word out of Fulham is in all, with in line in everything that they've said this summer, is that he's not for sale. Now, whether that's until they get a new striker in, whether that's if they get a new striker, they'll let him leave, maybe so. But they're in the driving seat when it comes to Rodrigo Muniz. And according to all the whispers, that he would probably want to stay there. Now, we know Newcastle have got an interest in him, especially, once Isak does go. I know Sesko is and ahhing between them and Man United, leaning more towards Man United. As I do this now, could probably change in 10 minutes with the way that report keeps on changing every hour. But this one for me is becoming one where it's looking unlikely, Rodrigo Muniz. And I feel like until we're, in talks, in discussion with him again, or, even close to having a bid rejected again, I feel like we might just have to park this one and look elsewhere. And I'll get into, the strike I spoke about yesterday. I'll get into a little more detail, as a couple of you had a few questions. So I'll get into that. But yeah, Rodrigo Muniz just seems like it's eking even further away, especially when you talk about the caliber of clubs that are coming in for him. If he's leaving Fulham to go Newcastle or Atalanta in Serie A, I can understand it. Is he going to leave Fulham to now come to this version of Leeds United with the way that we've built? I don't know. I got to say, I don't know. Obviously, he'd be first choice here. I think that's pretty clear. Him and Joel Peru would be the clear 1 and 2. Maybe that would be more appealing to him than his current situation at Fulham. But yeah, it's one of those where I'm feeling like this one is looking unlikely. So I don't know if I'm going to update again on Rodrigo Muniz unless it's something unbelievable, or until he's finally off the table. But until our names are mixed with him again, I think I'm going to leave him off the list for now. Now, we've needed a couple of departures, people. We know that we need to accrue money. We need to release some wages so we can bring people in. Well, Leeds United have done that today. Big outgoing. Big. It's huge. It's huge. It's absolutely massive. Charlie Crew is joining Doncaster on loan for the 25-26 season. Okay. Now, this doesn't get it done, people. This doesn't get it done, but it's kind of like in line with what we've done over the last couple of years, unless we've had our hand forced with departures like the loan relegation release clauses. This club just doesn't do outgoings the way it should. And if you've looked at the pictures today of the behind the scenes of media day, they keep sneaking Jack Harrison in there, people. He was left till the end in each slide, but he's there. And it's almost like that. You know what it's like when people put things out. It's conditioning you. It's conditioning you. It's conditioning your mind to say this person's going to be here. I mean, Schmidt was there too. I don't expect Schmidt to be there, but this Jack Harrison thing, the more the days tick on and the quieter things are, because I'm going to say again, people, like yesterday, there is nothing in terms of links. As I do this video, hopefully it changes once I upload it and it ages like milk, like it's happened before to me. There is nothing out there, people. Nothing at all. We went from the Sublime to the Igor Pashao almost coming here to when it collapsed, being linked with everybody just because people knew we were looking for a player, to absolute silence now. There is no credible links out there for Leeds United and incoming players at this moment in time. Apart from Mitrovic and El Kanous, that is it. But there's been no updates with those. But Charlie Crew, he'll be leaving, and somebody else who will be following him very soon is Joe Gelhardt. The whole city on their end have said that they feel that a deal will be possible. It will be possible to finish a deal this week, and Joe Gelhardt is looking to go back there on loan. So again, it won't be a full transfer fee, but we're getting the wages off the books. Again, what I will say in defense of like Doncaster and a whole with this is that the Football League seasons, well, have started for some. Championship starts this weekend. For them, it makes all the sense in the world to leave it as late as possible so they're not paying the wages before they need to. So in Leeds' case, they would have probably loved to have gotten these two players out, say, the beginning of July. But for those clubs, if they can leave it as long as possible so they don't have to pay that couple months' salary without any match day incomes, they will do that. So I understand it from that point of view in terms of these loans. But I'm talking more of some of the squad players that we could get transfer fees for, but there seemingly is no movement for them. Which is a bit of a worry at this time. But again, as we keep saying through the window, as we move through this moving document of a window, there is still time to play and get outgoings as well as incoming so far. And on that as well, I just want to put this out there. Athletic released this today in terms of who has spent the most in the Premier League window so far this season. Data as of August the 4th, converted from euros to Great British pounds, transfer fees only, agents fees, transfer levies not included. And of course, you've got the big six, as always, just up and above and outspending everybody as PSR, favors them in the rules. Then you've got Sunderland, and then you've got us at 73.5 million. Now, the point I want to make with this, and obviously this is going to change because obviously with Guessand signing, Villa's spending will go up from 6 million, and you get the point. The point I'm trying to make though is that it just shows you that it's not about the total, that about what you spend, it's about how you spent it. Because does it feel to anybody, and I ask you in the comments, does it feel like we've spent 73.5 million and not guaranteed safety, but have given us a really good chance of safety at this point when we sit here today on the 5th of August? There's still a lot of work to do. We don't have backup fullbacks. We don't have another striker, legit striker. I'm not counting Mecha at all. We need another forward as well. There's work to do, people. And we've spent a lot on depth squad signings at this point. I just wanted to make the point. It's not always about what you spend. It's about how you spending it. And Leeds have still got a lot of work to do. So we're looking to see that figure go over 100 million quite easily. I think even on one player, we're going to be spending over a certain amount when it comes to a forward. And that's just my opinion. What I will say, just quickly, just looking at a possible departure, I'm trying to put this out in the atmosphere. Chuba Akpom is in talks with Birmingham City and Ipswich. He wants the Ipswich Town move, but I think his current club, Lille, like the Ipswich Town off Birmingham City offer better because I think it's more of a permanent fee. Whatever it may be, they're in battle for him. But if Birmingham do lose out on Akpom, Birmingham City, I can offer you, here you go, my friend. I give you a Patrick Bamford. You know what I mean? I'm just putting it out there. Sometimes you got to put things out in the atmosphere. If they lose out on Akpom, here is Bamford, Birmingham City. Let's go. Now, lastly, Aleksander Mitrović, who we have been linked with. I want to just clarify a couple of points. I've spoken about Mitrovic in depth, so I'm not going to go over it, but a couple of people asked me a few things. And again, I think it's because they only watch Leeds United, because some of the questions were quite insulting for someone like me who only looks out for the best interests of Leeds United. I will never try and put this club in jeopardy by getting us a player who's unfit or has an overly hot head. I wouldn't do that. Now, does Mitrovic play on the edge? He absolutely does. But what I can tell you is since his days at Newcastle, people, you won't believe this, but in the league, he has no red cards. It's just that he plays so close to the edge. He reminds me so much, if you remember, of Diego Costa. I think Diego Costa probably got maybe 1 or 2 red cards, maybe, but it wasn't as many as people thought because he was a hothead, plays on the edge. But Aleksander Mitrovic's disciplinary record is fine. That was him at Fulham. This is him recently at Al Hilal, where he's still scoring goals, people. No problems there. And even if you want to look at Serbia internationally, where he is still scoring goals as well, no red cards, people, and he is fit and ready to go. So there is no issues there. And people as well with the whole, he doesn't fit the 49ers model about, not signing, 26-year-olds. He's 30. He's not an old relic. He's 30 years old. He's good. And also the 49ers model should be wanting to stay in the Premier League. That's the only model they should be focused on. Not if they can sell this player in 2 years for double the money. They should be looking at this as the investment that will keep us in the Premier League, or really give us a really good chance of keeping us in the Premier League. So that's what I want to say on that. Because, I mean, listen, no shade, but I think someone in the comments said, what about Nicholas Jackson? Which is not going to happen, people. Chelsea are looking for good money. And listen, Chelsea, as much as they spend on players and as much as they pay players, they can move them on easily. For some reason, they can do it very easily in comparison to us, where, oh, this person's on so much money, we can't move them. Well, Chelsea don't have no problems with some of their players who are not even that good as well, by the way. Not even that good. But Nicholas Jackson, in comparison to Mitrovic, has had a red card last season, and the year before he had 10 yellows. I think that did leave him to a missing 2 games. And also in the summer, which it doesn't show on this, he had a red card in the Club World Cup. So there's hotter heads out there that are out there worse than Mitrovic. I think people just got a preconceived notion, probably because of the whole Ben White incident where he kind of give him a love tap on the head. But if you watch in everything else, he's an aggressive player. But that's the kind of player Leeds would love. That's the kind of player that the fans, I think, would love too. But listen, people, that is it for the update. And I'm sorry there's not better news, but sometimes, and especially since the push-out news, it's going to be like that. But that is the latest. That is all we have. So please like the video if you haven't already. Thank you to Mr. B for the super thanks on the last video. Big up to all members of the channel. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully with more encouraging news, people. See you in a bit. Peace out.